In Idaho Falls.
Idaho Falls.
Yeah, so, yeah, we did have some gooseberry vines back there. I always liked gardens, and that's what she's talking about.
And she's going to talk about that some more, as a matter of
Okay,
fact.
all right.
Grandma made gooseberry pie from those little green sour fruits, and I've never had a better piece of gooseberry pie since. I also like to eat them off the bush. In this house, I also learned to memorize the books of the Bible in order. Phew. I did it, and they gave me a Frisbee filled with Lifesaver candies. Grandpa was very proud. Later, I spent many summers in their house in Susie, California. I believe they lived there for nearly 20 years, and so I was there as a girl, attending Grandpa's church throughout the week. Grandma taught me how to play the piano as best as a little girl could learn. I also learned in this house the lesson of not cheating during a game of Uno. I used to love riding Grandpa's riding lawnmower and fetching raspberries or anything from the garden that Grandma would ask me to get as dinner was getting near. Later, as a young adult, my grandparents invited me to stay with them in their California home when I was going through a difficult time. The love and support was so much. I believe this is when Grandma began to paint, and she inspired me to start painting and drawing again. It was a hope-filled time, and I can't thank them enough. Most recently, we now live very close to each other in North Carolina, and our whole family can enjoy a weekend get-together throughout the year. I've been working as best as I can on a new yard, and Grandpa planted some tomato plants for me. He's such a sweetheart. When I see him, we compare notes on our tomato plants. He has a bigger plant than me. But I don't believe he heard that the first of my 8 tomatoes, in varying sizes so far, has begun to turn red. Someday I'd like to have more than just tomatoes. And this little gardening wish of mine probably originated from my grandparents, watching the love, care, hard work, and discipline that they put into their garden and enjoying the fruits of their labors also. They do the same with their family. And although, of course, I don't know the intimate details of such an enduring marital relationship, I like to think that their marriage is like a garden. I hope I can grow a good garden too. I love you, Grandma and Grandpa. Congratulations on 60 years. All right, this is from Bob and Ethel Rail, right? I may not be able to connect everyone, but I remember that one. Dear Russell and Susie, congratulations on this wonderful milestone in your lives together. Although we have only recently been privileged to count you as dear personal friends, your fellowship has been a tremendous addition to our lives. We have a lot in common from our ministerial careers, pioneering, pastoring, and now providing support for the next generation. It gives us much to share. We're just behind you in anniversaries. On October 8th, we will celebrate our 56th. We are not old people, just seasoned. Relatively few couples are privileged to celebrate 60 years together. You are greatly blessed. Our prayers are continuously for God's grace and healing for Susie and for your continued health. We look forward to many more years of sharing love and friendship. Bob and Ethel Marie Rail.
Thank you.
Wow, we're almost through book 2. We've only got a couple more here. Maybe we need to add some back in. And actually, I'm not going to read all of Shirley's. Shirley wrote several pages also. Shirley is Daddy's youngest sister, the baby of the family, right?
No, Glenn's the baby.
Oh, that's right. She's the baby girl of the family. Okay. But she says, sorry she couldn't be here, but here are a few memories I have. And then she recites some memories. Mm-hmm. And then she sends pictures of when you went hunting with them. Okay. And she ends by saying, we all, children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, have really enjoyed all the reunions. You have been so gracious and kind to all. We love and appreciate you so much. And the many times through my sickness and with John's death, I say thank you. Love, Shirley. And the final selection from this book is from Brian, another one of their grandchildren. Raise your hand, Brian. Grandma and Grandpa, your love has been a constant source of vibrant inspiration for me throughout my life. Your dedication to integrity and honor has set an example which each of us admires and strives to obtain in our lives. Your encouragement has uplifted us when we needed hope, and your discipline has corrected us when we needed help. All in all, the gravity and sincerity of your prudent guidance has commanded the most endearing respect from the people who loved you most, your children and grandchildren. Brian.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian.
All right, this next one is accompanied by several photos also. This is from Tom and Edna Blackburn, which are Pam's parents. Is that correct? Did I get that? I got that right, didn't I?
Brian's other grandparents.
Yeah, Brian's other grandparents. We are most pleased to congratulate and hope that the celebration of your 60th will be as happy and as enjoyable as the day back in 1943 you both said, "I do." Excuse me. As you know, we have been together through the good and some unpleasant times. Many happy blessings we have had. We love you very much as friends and family. I have to tell you this, it's funny now, as if you did not know. This is how we become friends and family. Our daughter, Pam, met up with a very nice young man in the Air Force at the time. This was your son. We knew she and Dwight were very friendly. Nothing serious. I will tell you, back in August 1971, we got the shock of our life. Have you read this? Pam ran away to be married. It was very strange. She didn't come home that evening. We started calling and checking with friends and other sources. We sat up waiting, wishing to get some news. The phone rang next morning about 1:30 a.m. and I answered. Dwight was calling to speak with Tom. Tom could not speak. I said, "Is Pam with you?" And he replied, "Yes, but she will not talk to you." He politely explained, were you scared to talk to him? He politely explained that they were married about 8 o'clock the past evening.
Oh, dear.
She's okay, he assured me. When will you come home? Not for the next 2 weeks. We're going to visit my parents in Idaho. Well, we were somewhat relieved, just a little hurt. They returned and lived happily. Time passed on. May 9th, 1973, a son was born, Brian. We were very happy. 11 months passed on, and on April 25th, 74, the shock came again as the good Lord called him home. That would be Pam's husband, Brian's father, Dwight. In remembrance, we have a very fine grandson, and you have a fine grandson, Brian, and he is surely an Umphenour. You have visited our home in many times, which we treasure. All we can wish for you is good health and much happiness to come. We love you. God bless, Tom and Edna Blackburn.
Yeah, that was nice.
Okay, this is a few pages, but it is handwritten. It's from Margaret Caldwell. I think this is just so special. We decided we need to read this one. Oh, we better have you explain who Margaret Caldwell is, in brief. Okay, if you don't remember, maybe I could. Let's see, Beaver City.
That's the Denny's.
Yes, the Denny family. She lives in
Yeah.
Pendleton now, yeah.
Yeah.
She's related to the Bynes in Beaver City also somehow,
Yeah.
is she not? Right?
Bynes' daughter.
So that, okay, so now we got it.
Sister Danny's brother.
Yeah.
And was she part of, she was part of your church in Beaver City too at the time, briefly, was she not?
Sister Bynes was. But
Yeah.
Her mother, not, but she
Okay.
wasn't.
Okay, here it is. It is getting a little difficult to think back so far. But where the Umphenours are concerned, it is all wonderful memories, nothing unpleasant. It was a Sunday, actually this goes back to Beatrice. It was a Sunday
Yeah.
morning, probably about 1948 in Beatrice, Nebraska, at the Assembly of God Church where Roy and Leila Denny were the pastors. What year was that? Oh, okay. All right. Anyway, it was a Sunday morning at that church in Beatrice, Nebraska. Russell sang, the Holy City that Sunday morning. I don't remember the sermon or anything else about the service, but I've never forgotten how that song blessed me that day. I still get goosebumps when I hear that song, but never has it touched me again as it did that morning. I also remember about the same time that Umphenours and the Caldwells had cars alike. You know where this story's going, right?
1934 Ford.
You probably remember the make and the year, she says. Bernard would know. Fords, I think. One difference, ours had a heater and yours didn't.
That's true.
It was winter and you were going to Blair to try out for the pastorate. We traded cars because of the heater.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if someone crowded you off the road or if it was just the icy roads, but the car and you ended up over a bank. I don't think anyone was hurt,
Nobody.
not even the car. Maybe Susie got a run in her nylons. I think that was the car we drove to Oregon in the spring of '49, and you were voted in as pastors at Blair. Sometime later, you pastored my home church at Beaver City, so that was her home church, but it was
right,
after
yeah.
she had left. My mother always remembered your ministry there as being so special and felt your family was such a good influence on the city, not just Russ and Susie, but your boys also, and that people in town would...
That's why you wanted to read it.
Hey.
Now I know.
And that people in the town would speak so well of you even years later. I remember being home for Christmas one year and your family joined ours for Christmas dinner. My mom could always make room for another family. Somewhere, I know I have a picture of us all around that table, and the table stretched from wall to wall. I haven't found the picture. It may have been a movie. I hope your memories of our family are as pleasant to recall as my memories of all of you.
Yeah.
God bless you on this special day. I'll see you in glory. Bye-bye. Love, Margaret.
Very nice.
And one from Rob and Cheryl Jenkins, and Nellie Casper, Artie Potts, Alice Foster. She wrote a book.
Yeah. Alice Foster was a teacher, an art teacher in Idaho Falls, Idaho. Her brother was an evangelist, and she was very much involved in the church, and Linfield Crowder is her brother. And Susie didn't learn to paint there, but she was a painter. And I have a series of prophetic messages that she painted large signs for that depicted each of those prophetic messages. I still have those pictures.
And your memory of her is exactly what she writes about in her letter, too.
Is that right?
Is how special that was to her also.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, the next one is from Sharon Umphenour, daughter-in-law, daughter. Dear Mother and Daddy, thank you for taking me into your home and hearts as a daughter 35 years ago. You made me a member of the family immediately. I have many wonderful memories of fun times and good food in your homes in Idaho Falls and Fairfield. You have always placed a high priority on the importance of family. Also, I thank you for being loving grandparents to Rusty. I'm sure the fishing and camping trips when he was a child are stored in his memory bank. Congratulations on 60 years of love and marriage. Love, Sharon.
Thank you, Sharon.
This next one is from Gail, my wife, their daughter-in-law. Where to begin? After almost 40 years, I have many memories. They're all precious. Even if I didn't always agree with or like the situation, I knew that absolutely everything was said and done with love. Both of you were always there for my family. Always. Susie, you came every time I needed help, like when I had Jamie.